Jim Carrey, I believe last night at the Caesar Awards in France, making his big debut back into the spotlight. I'm going to play it for you in a second, but I put, who is this? Because it is definitely not Jim Carrey. The eyes aren't even the same color. They don't even care anymore.
You did recently share that you're ready to take a break from acting. Can you elaborate on that comment? Are we really not going to get any more Jim Carrey roles?
I gotta get out of here before I slap someone. Seriously.
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
There is no Illuminati. It's just a joke. It's just something that crazy people talk about. There's no such thing as our side and God's side.
I have enough. I've done enough.
It's the last time people laughed at Katt Williams. He was on stage talking about big deviance and warning that Diddy would eventually face consequences for things the industry chose to ignore. A year later, raids happened, and serious allegations started appearing in legal documents. Suddenly, that crazy comedian didn't seem so crazy anymore. So when that same wave of rumors started focusing on Jim Carrey, people began paying closer attention. After years of speaking out about the industry, he seemed to step back, but then things took a strange turn. He reappeared in France looking different, with a heavier face, a different energy, and even details that fans online began overanalyzing. The internet, which once mocked these kinds of theories, started circulating new and suggesting that Carrey might have been replaced so the industry could continue using his name. These claims are purely speculative, but they gained traction because of the timing. If Katt Williams was right about one thing, people began wondering what else he might have been pointing toward, talking about powerful figures, hidden agreements, and an industry that protects itself at all costs. At the same time, fans began questioning whether the Jim Carrey they were seeing was really the same person. For years, Carrey was part of Hollywood's inner circle, but one moment at the Oscars changed everything. In a live interview with Gayle King, he didn't hold back. He openly said he was disturbed watching the audience give a standing ovation to Will Smith after the slap. Then he said something that caught everyone's attention. He called Hollywood spineless en masse, adding that it showed the industry.
I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
There was some question today about if anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd have announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous. You know, that insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
No, I agree. I think we all agree on that. I just thought, Jim, that it escalated to that. You know what I mean? That it escalated to that level.
It didn't escalate. It came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him that's frustrated, and I wish him the best. I really do. I don't have anything against Will Smith. He's done great things. But that was not a good moment. It cast a pall over everybody's shining moment last night. You know, a lot of people worked really hard to get to that place and to have their moment in the sun and to get their award for the really hard work they did. And it is no mean feat to go through all the stuff you have to go through when you're nominated for an Oscar. It's a gauntlet of devotion that you have to do. And it was just a selfish moment that cast a pall over the whole thing.
And it didn't stop there. It wasn't just a one-time moment. During an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Jim Carrey walked out repeatedly making a triangle gesture, sticking his tongue out, almost like he was mocking something behind the scenes. Jimmy Kimmel joked about it and asked if it was some kind of gang sign, but Carrey didn't play it off lightly. He looked straight at him and replied, "Oh, like you don't know what it is," then started mentioning other late-night hosts, as if they were all part of something they weren't supposed to openly acknowledge. The audience laughed, but the energy in the room noticeably changed. For a brief moment, it didn't feel like comedy, it felt like something more serious, like he was hinting at something hidden behind the scenes.
This because it is definitely not Jim Carrey. The eyes aren't even the same color. They don't even care anymore. So there are several things wrong with this, but the first thing I want to point out is the eye color. Jim Carrey has brown eyes, but these eyes are hazel. Let me blow it up some more, and then I'm going to show you the comparison, and then we have some more to get into. Take notice, of course, of the eye color, but the nose, the skin, it's like no pores. Could it be a filter? Sure. Or, compression? Sure. But that doesn't usually happen. I mean, there are no pores on this face. To me and a lot of people, this is a mask, a skin mask. But we have more details to go over with this because this is insane. All right, so this is the comparison of their eyes. As you can see clearly, two different eye colors, right? But let's zoom in some more. Let's zoom in some more. So this is Jim Carrey, right? And you can see the way the eyebrows sit, how he has somewhat of a monolid. It's not quite a monolid, not quite a double lid. It's kind of in between. But then you just see, okay, just look at the facial structure. Now let's move this up. What is this? What is happening? Look at the lids. Look at the lids of the eye. Look at the eye color, the eye shape, the eyebrows. So they put all this makeup on him, which you can see the makeup, but they didn't fill in his eyebrows? Huh? So his eyebrows are now gray, but his hair is still brown? Look at the skin. There's no pores on this thing.
Then they zoom in. It seems funny, but after that, his interviews don't become lighter, they become sharper. Jim Carrey starts speaking like someone who's done playing along. He calls red carpet events meaningless and brushes off the kind of high-profile gatherings that others treat like they really matter. And beneath the humor, there's a different tone. You can sense something more serious under the jokes. It feels like he's no longer looking for approval, doesn't need validation anymore. That slight shift is the glitch in the Matrix.
They would go this far to do the mask. Why wouldn't they put in contacts? I personally believe that this is the age of disclosure, which they have said. This is the age of disclosure. They want us to know. They want us asking questions. They want us to panic, and they are trying to normalize it, or they're trying to gauge how many people are awake and have the eyes to see these things. Because even with this, there's people in the comments like, no, that's just...
He takes things even further. In another clip, Jim Carrey starts talking about America, Hollywood, and where real power actually lies. He suggests it's not in awards or applause, but in controlling how people see reality. He says the industry shapes perception, influencing what people believe, so they accept whatever story is presented to them. If anyone else said that, it might sound like a conspiracy theory. But coming from Jim Carrey, same actor who starred in The Truman Show, a story about a man trapped in a manufactured reality hits differently. It almost feels personal, like he's speaking from experience. When you put everything together, it stops sounding like a comedian joking around and starts to feel like someone exposing cracks in the system. He's not just entertaining anymore, he's questioning everything. He's calling out the idea that the people on stage deserve admiration, suggesting that even the hosts and public figures people trust may be part of something they don't openly talk about. He dismisses the importance of red carpets, awards, and status, saying they don't really matter. And if an industry depends on image, admiration, and silence, that kind of message isn't just uncomfortable, it can be seen as threatening. Because when someone at his level starts telling millions of people not to believe the image, not to value the rituals, and openly challenges the system, it creates tension, and that's when things start to feel strange. After making these kinds of statements, he didn't just quietly disappear. When he reappeared publicly, many people felt something was different. Online discussions quickly turned into speculation, with some questioning whether he seemed like the same person. Say, during an event in France, where he received an honorary award. It should have been a celebration, standing ovation, Full respect, but the real reaction wasn't just in the room. It was online. People weren't focused on his speech, they were debating his appearance. Side-by-side comparisons started spreading across social media. On one side, younger Jim Carrey or Jet Li. Some pointed out changes in his voice and expressions, saying the spark felt different. Others argued it was simply age, experience, and personal change. But the conversation itself shows how much his image and his word shave shifted how people see him.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know, Jimmy.
Then people
Don't
take
get me
it even
wrong,
further.
you know, Jim
They
Carrey
start
is a
zooming
great
in on
character,
details.
and I was
In
lucky to
older
get the part.
interviews, Jim Carrey's eyes appear very dark, almost black under certain
I
lighting.
don't think of
But
that
in
as
newer
me
clips,
anymore.
some fans
You don't
claim
ever-
they
not
notice
at all.
hazel
Not
or
really.
slightly green
No,
tones, like
I
something
used to
has
be a
changed.
guy.
Yeah.
And does
Screenshots
the
get
beard have
shared,
anything to
compared,
do with
and
that?
analyzed.
Well,
Some
here's
people
the
explain
thing,
it's
the
simply
beard,
lighting
yes,
differences,
everywhere I go.
camera
For
quality, or
years.
natural
And
aging.
on that couch, he
Others
practically
aren't
shrugged and
convinced.
said,
They argue
"Look,
that while features
hosts
like the
like
nose
Kimmel
or
are
jaw
part of
can
the
change
spectacle,
over time,
trained to
the
deal
eyes
with.
feel
To deal
different
with.
and to
It's
them,
the kind of
that
hollow
stands out.
political comedy
For
that
those who
doesn't
believe
unite.
something is off,
It fractures.
that small
Instead
detail
of
becomes the
sparking
glitch, the moment
curiosity,
where things stop
compassion,
adding
or
up in their
dialogue.
view.
Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh. I like it. It is a
It's
scraping.
the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, and they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things. And, you know, and you know, look at him trying to come it out. It's hilarious.
From there, his interviews get sharper, not softer. They say this in playing the game forever. He calls red carpets meaningless, shrugs off posh events that everyone else treats like sacred rituals, and you can hear something dangerous under the jokes. He doesn't need the validation anymore.
No. I'm doing just fine. I just, you know, there's no meaning to any of this. So I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
They're
I
celebrating.
mean, you got to admit it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating
Do you believe
icons,
in
boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming, you know, possibility that we could come up with. It's like icons. What do you believe in icons? I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe that you exist, but there is a wonderful fragrance in the air.
You don't believe certain icons have the power to make change, to think differently, to be bold, to inspire others? Artistry, you're one of them.
On the good foot. Ha! Yeah. You shut it down now. Yeah, no, I don't believe in icons. I don't believe in personalities. I believe that peace lies beyond personality, beyond invention and disguise, beyond the red S that you wear on your chest that makes bullets bounce off. I believe that it's deeper than that. I believe we're a field of energy dancing for itself. And I don't...
Size changing gains even more attention because of something Jim Carrey has said himself. In past interviews, he's openly talked about losing his sense of identity, about feeling like he's disappearing into the version of himself that the public expects. He explained that the Jim Carrey people recognize isn't necessarily who he feels he is anymore. So when viewers notice a version of him that seems different, same face, same outline, but a different energy, they start connecting those ideas. To them, it feels like this. The man who said he was losing himself slowly fades away, and in his place is someone who looks the same, but doesn't quite carry the same presence or spark.
Don't get me wrong, you know, Jim Carrey is a great character, and I was lucky to get the part. But I don't think of that as me anymore.
You don't? Not at all?
Not really, no. I used to be a guy who was experiencing the world, and now I feel like the world and the universe experiencing a guy.
I think we got a little taste of that just a moment ago, yeah. And does the beard have anything to do with that?
Well, here's the thing, the beard, yes. Everywhere I go, people talk about the beard. They go, what are you doing? Why are you growing a beard? Why are you growing a beard? It's like they can't really think about anything else. It's just not, you know, cohesive. There's something different about me, and it's that damn beard. And wherever I show up, it becomes the story, you know?
Right.
It's a bigger star than me at this point.
Mm-hmm. And is that good?
It has its own Twitter.
It does?
Yeah, it's really good, yeah. Thank God it likes me.
Maybe it'll be president one day, you know?
Exactly. Well,
that's the first step
now, right? But yeah, it's just weird. And I always say it's the question is not why are you growing a beard? The question is why am I growing a beard and still shaving my balls? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. No, you're right. It really
doesn't.
It
doesn't make any sense at all. I think it's like a balance thing, you know? It's like, you know, if I'm shaved down, then I got to do this, you know? So if I ever shave my face again, you'll know.
Where it went?
There's a full beard somewhere.
Well, you look. I think it looks good. It looks good on you.
To a gossip lover, that's just juicy.
Isn't it just an actor changing over time, but something deeper like a public identity being reshaped in real time? At a certain point, Jim Carrey stopped acting like a typical entertainer. He wasn't chasing bigger roles, awards, or fame anymore. Instead, he started talking about things like ego, the emptiness of fame, stepping away from the spotlight, and exploring spirituality. In interviews and articles, people noticed how he turned to painting, isolation, and deeper philosophical ideas. He said things like, "I don't exist," and described Jim Carrey as more of a character than his true self, almost like a role he had outgrown. That's not the mindset of someone chasing success in Hollywood. It sounds more like someone who has stepped back and seen the system differently. So when he looked into the camera and said he was retiring and that he'd only come back if angels brought him a script written.
Yeah. Really? Why?
It depends. It depends if, you know, if the angels bring some sort of, you know, script that's, you know, written in gold ink that says to me that it's going to be really important for people to see, I might continue down the road, but I'm taking a break.
Then he makes it clear. Jim Carrey says, "I have enough. Enough. No teasing a comeback. No, maybe someday. Just a firm decision to stop." It doesn't sound like a joke or a phase. It sounds like someone choosing to step away, completely refusing to keep feeding the same system that brought him both success and frustration.
I've done enough.
Here's where a pattern starts to take shape. Some people believe the industry has a history of turning certain figures into warnings the moment they stop playing their expected role. When Dave Chappelle walked away from a massive deal, he was labeled as crazy. When Katt Williams spoke about hidden issues in the industry, many dismissed him instead of taking him seriously. When Sheila Bayoof opened up about personal struggles and faith, much of the attention shifted toward his controversies instead. The pattern people point to is simple. Step out of line, and the narrative around you changes. You go from being respected to being questioned or even ridiculed. Katt Williams has talked about this idea for years. From his perspective, very little in the industry happens by accident. He suggests that sudden controversies, legal issues, or waves of negative press can sometimes appear at very specific moments, shaping how the public sees someone. According to that view, once a person's public image becomes more valuable than their personal truth, the priority shifts. The image is protected no matter what, and anything that threatens it can be pushed aside or buried.
saying that everything that happens in a business that's based off of pretend, that seems like a setup, is.
Everything that happens in a business, that's based off of pretend, that seems like a setup, is.
Yes. What I'm saying is, if Jussie Smollett and Lee Daniels for a living make stories that are not real, and they make them so good that people believe them and buy them, and that's what business they're in, why would you think it would be weird if they flipped out and said a story that turned out to not be true?
Why? Why would we think that if they are capable of doing that for a living?
That's what they do for a living. They do that 300 episodes, is take something fictitious and make it seem real.
Social contract. The idea is simple. You may face betrayal or exploitation from people you work with or even help, but if you want to stay in the system, disrupting the image that keeps everything running. In return, you stay within the system, kept visible, employed, and relevant. Whether people agree with that framing or not, it reflects a broader belief some insiders express, that Hollywood often rewards composure over honesty and image control over emotional truth.
My problem was I didn't understand the social contract here. I now understand what that means.
Yeah.
Do you understand it?
The social contract?
Yeah.
I think I do.
Yeah. What is it for you?
The social contract. You can't get mad.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get mad. You can't let it get you, because you have to make a deal with everyone else, and it's almost unspoken that you are going to be fucked over at some point by people who you may have done something nice for.
Mm.
And it may happen that by circumstance, or even very purposefully, that you fuck someone over. But that shouldn't get in the way of you being able to sit down and have fun with them. Am I on the right track?
Absolutely.
You can't build a resentment about it. You have to still try and love those people.
Yeah.
Because that's the way they're thinking.
Because it ain't personal.
No, it's not personal. They don't really mean to hurt you.
No.
Not really. I don't quite understand. Well, I mean, there's a lot of motivations for why it happens. Yes, many.
I mean, money will make you do stuff as well, won't it? I mean,
yes.
One, them, us,
yes.
You know.
Yeah, well, whoever.
If there's many millions riding on a decision, it's hard to be philosophical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very hard. Very hard to be, you have to choose what level of integrity you're coming in at. And
okay.
And I've often felt it. I've sat there and I have felt the knife slipped firmly in between my shoulder blades and tried to have it shoved through the other side through my heart. And I've actually felt the whole thing and I've gone, ah! Wait till next week, or I'll think, fucking, and you'll resent it for a little while, then you have to let it go. Otherwise, you'll eat yourself.
Now, if you look at Jim Carrey through that lens, the picture changes. He's no longer just selling the Hollywood fantasy. Instead, he starts questioning it. He calls out the audience as spineless, describes industry events as meaningless, criticizes how media shapes perception, and openly shifts his focus towards spirituality and meaning rather than blockbuster success. From that point of view, he isn't playing the usual game anymore. He's stepping away from it, using personal belief, introspection, and faith over fame and the Hollywood system that built his career.
I'm telling you, kids, don't come to Hollywood. I'm serious.
Your camera's there.
Jim, what about for you? I mean, you had it, on such a grand scale. All of a sudden, you were the biggest movie star in the world, and your paychecks and all of it were public. And I imagine getting out of a car, it was being swarmed with
And
with
90% myth as well. So that's a tough thing to deal with.
What does that feel like?
People
What does it
create your life.
Yeah?
They take elements that are true and they put it in an article so the article looks legit, and yet there's so much of the article that isn't true. So that's something to kind of teach you that, hey, you know what? In order to go forward, I have to let go of what this creation is. And I ultimately found
that even the me I created wasn't real. So that left me in an odd, precarious situation. And I've been writing and creating about that for a very long time.
In business, nothing is coincidental, or you would be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from
Carrey was once about peace, meditation, and disclosure. This interview is why he was murdered and replaced. They gave him a choice of going to prison for his girlfriend's overdose. Shoot, you're gonna trigger me. Everyone hated when I made that video. Oh, I almost got canceled for it, but you know, when I make a video, I stand down. Anyways,
Paris on it becomes a question of narrative and control. If a major star starts stepping away from fame, questioning success, and openly talking about faith, ego, and the emptiness of Hollywood, people begin to read meaning into every move. Add past controversies, intense media attention, and a long history of public scrutiny, and the story becomes even more complicated. Some fans believe that in an industry driven by image, what matters most is not just the person but the brand they represent. And once a name becomes bigger than the individual, the public version of that person can take on a life of its own. But at its core, this is all interpretation, speculation, and audience theory, not confirmed reality.